Before I do my proper introduction to this vlog, I need you to appreciate the outfit. My time has come. Ferrari 2026, you need to hire me. Now you're probably looking at me all dolled up, looking like the Scarlet fucking Letter, thinking, gosh, he is one Ferrari fan. I'm not really a Ferrari fan. Not really. It's been nothing but pain since I became an F1 fan. I'm a Charles Leclerc fan. Now does it make sense? Look, I got my Charles Leclerc cap. I do love Lewis Hamilton as well, don't worry. But hi, welcome and welcome back to Gavin Leclerc Reads It All. I'm going to be attempting to read 3 F1 romances in this video. I've never read F1 romances before. I do like romance. I do dabble every now and then. Now, I became an F1 fan in August. The first race that I watched was the Hungarian Grand Prix, and my love, Jade from JD Reads, is the one who got me into it. She was staying at mine before we flew to Norway the next day, and she got me to watch a race, and she was like, okay, rate all of those drivers out of 10, you know, like out of looks, just out of looks, you know, just out of curiosity. And obviously Charles Leclerc came on the screen and it was over. It was so over for me. So I was like, okay, that is the man I'm rooting for. And then he went from P1 to P4 in that race. And that's when I knew, not that I was in it to win it, but that I was about to have a long and miserable life supporting Ferrari. So that's essentially my origin story. I bought this a week later. Literally an F1 fan for a week. I bought this a week later. So now I can actually use it. And I have thought ever since then, I need to make this count. And so I really want to do an F1 romance reading vlog for a little while now. And I'm hoping these bring me as much joy as it was seeing Charles Leclerc get a podium for the very first time only a few weeks ago. Guys, I'm not filming a vlog right now or anything, but I want to include this in some vlog because I'm an F1 fan. Actually, I have an F1 thingy coming up. Okay, we are watching the Austin, Texas race. I was live on Patreon watching a movie, and then the race started, and I was like, shit. So I was, on Google checking. I was like, my man Charles Leclerc is currently second, and I was like, that never happens. So the movie ended. I was still live, and Charles Leclerc was still second, but Lando Norris was so close to overtaking, and then he overtook during the live, and I was like stressing, and I was getting so stressed. Don't think that's as stressful as the F1 is for you. Honestly, I'm so stressed. Who was about to overtake? Was Hamilton about to overtake Leclerc? He might. Oh my god, don't crash into each other. What are you doing? Oh my god, that was so close. Don't tell me someone else is also going to overtake Leclerc in his own teammate. Leclerc's about going to P4, guys. Why is it as soon as I start watching, I'm a curse? I'm an actual curse. Why do I watch? It is a lot of laps, and honestly, I would think that's too many laps, but honestly, anything could happen. Anything could. Oh, Leclerc's being boxed. He's going in the box, which means he's going to be falling so far down. Oh my god, he's at 7. Oh, he's so close behind Yuki as well. He's so close behind Yuki. He could overtake Yuki as well. Oh, come on, overtake Yuki. Overtake him. I don't care about George Russell. I don't care about him. Look, come on, get back to Leclerc. Leclerc is like he's going to be an over. I'm going to have to change into my F1 stuff. Oh my god. Has Leclerc just overtaken Yuki? Has he just overtaken Yuki? Oh, he's so close to. He just overtook him. Yes. He's currently in 6th. And he is still the only person in like the top 10 who is like pitted as well. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so glad I'm watching this now. And now we are currently on lap 42 of 56. Charles Leclerc is currently second still. And I'm like, this could be the very first time as an F1 fan that I get to see my man Charles Leclerc get a podium. I've only been a fan for like 2.5 months, nearly 3 months now. And every single time I've watched, Charles Leclerc went from P1 to P4 in the first race I watched, but I was a fan instantly. Have you seen that man? He's beautiful. And so since that moment, a love at first sight. But ever since then, he's never gotten a podium. And I was like, am I cursed? Am I the problem? And so he's currently second right now with lap 42. I think he's going to get the podium. And this is like first time. And so I changed. I was wearing a Stitch hoodie during my movie night. And went straight upstairs to change into my F1 stuff. I don't know if this is cursed. Hopefully this brings good luck. Hopefully Sean gets that freaking podium. Oh my god, the gap between him and Norris is getting wider. It's getting wider. Could you imagine if Lewis Hamilton also gets can get 2 Ferrari on the podium? Can you imagine? Oh my god, yeah, because if Lando Norris has to box again because his tyres are fucked, maybe Hamilton could overtake. Maybe Lewis Hamilton could overtake and we could have both Ferrari on the... Are you kidding me? That would be amazing. Okay, I can't believe how much of an F1 fan I've become, honestly. Like, I've become way too obsessed, I think. I think is the right word. I've become way too obsessed. He's just gone third. I was really hoping he would get second. Damn you, Lando. Still love you, but damn you. Oh my god, he's currently third. He's currently third. Oh god, the first time I'm ever gonna see him on a podium. Oh my head. He's on the podium. And you know what made me even happier as well is seeing him get on the podium again the week after, or like 2 weeks after that. You wouldn't think, but it's a week later. I am watching the race in, oh god, where the hell are we again? Oh, where is this? Mexico. We're in Mexico. And we've just finished the race. Charles Leclerc is second, but Max Verstappen almost overtook him so many times. It was so close to the end that I was literally freaking out. Max was so close in the last lap as well. The last lap, it looked like it could have. The yellow safety hazard, virtual safety car, whatever came out. I don't know what the fuck that means. But I was messaging Chef the entire time. Messaging, oh my god. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so close, but Charles Leclerc just keeps second. I've just seen him get on a podium for the first time last week and getting third place. First time seeing him getting P2, second place. My very first time seeing him second. Oh my god. And Ollie Behrman was amazing, by the way, as well. Ollie Behrman. I actually voted him for driver of the day. He was great. Anyway, though, I'm going to say Charles Leclerc in second. Next week, it's going to be first. Actually, no, it's not on next week. The week after that, it's going to be in first, okay? Whee! Woo! And then frickin' Kimi Antonelli and Oscar Piastri tag teamed and knocked him out the next time I watched. I was so upset. So upset I turned it off after like 5 minutes. I am not watching this anymore. What the hell? Oh my god. Leclerc obviously lost the tyre like a polo down the racetrack. Leclerc's pulled over. We'll have to have another. Oh my god. I hate it. I'm not watching anymore. I'm not watching anymore. Anyway, we're not going to dwell on that. We're not going to dwell. You are probably not an F1 person yourself. If you are watching via BookTube and you're just watching because you're just amazing and you are here for the reading vlog and the reading vibes, then this vlog will still be for you. You may still end up enjoying these books that I'm going to be reading. I don't think you need to watch the F1 or be an F1 fan in order to enjoy these. But I do think it's going to add a little bit of je ne sais quoi to the experience. So one of the first ones I will be reading in this one is Pole Position by Rebecca J. Caffrey. This was actually recommended to me by a flight attendant who I think was flirting with me. And honestly, he was so hot. And he mentioned this. He was like, have you read Pole Position? It's very steamy. It's very gay. Lots of gay sex. And I was like, sir, this is a Wendy's. I did actually buy this before he mentioned it, but he made me bump it up my TBR. I need an F1 mug as well, actually. But I love how the red and everything match it. Oh, honestly, I thought of it all. I thought of it all. Then I will read Lights Out by Kayla James. I think this might be Charles Leclerc fanfiction. So I'm all for that. And the first book in the Grid series. So if I end up enjoying this one, I will obviously continue. This one is a heterosexual romance. So, you know, I'll go in with an open mind. And I'll tell you what all these books are about when I get to reading them. And then the last one I will be reading in this vlog is Crash Test by Amy James. I'm super excited for this one. A lot of my friends who have read this have given it 5 stars. They have loved it. And this is another gay one. So, it's like it was written for me. And I'm going to save this one for last, I think, because this is the one I'm the most anticipating. I will save it for last. So we have 3 books versus 1 me. Let's get into it. If you end up enjoying this video, please do give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let's box and read some books. That was so stupid. I am 94 pages into Pole Position, and it's been good so far. It hasn't really blown me away. There are parts of me that is very glad that I am a Formula One fan, because some things I now understand that I would not have understood if I wasn't a Formula One fan. So when they're talking about like Constructors' Championships and like DRS and things like that, and like when they're actually racing too, I think it really does help to know some context there. So I do like those elements of Formula One in this, because I was like, okay, I can kind of see this happening. And there are other times when I don't really think I can see this happening. So we follow Kian, and he is a 4-time world champion, and he is part of a team where his teammate at the very, very start of this book, like page page 1, his teammate has gone into a freak accident and will now be out of the championship for the season. And so we enter Harper James, who is, well, we find out he's a little bit of a bad boy, like he has a bit of a bad boy reputation, and Kian doesn't like Harper, just like from the get-go, which honestly, like, I guess some people's reputation precedes them, you know, and that's fine. But yeah, as soon as Kian meets Harper, he's just like a dick, like straight away. I'm just like, but why? Like, what? There isn't really like any like nuance to the initial like enemies part of this. I obviously think this will turn into lovers as like enemies to lovers, and like I just don't understand the initial hatred there. Like, he's just like straight up rude. And straight up rude. And then Harper is like very immature. So like, I'm trying to, you know, suspend my disbelief a little bit with the personalities of these drivers, because yeah, they're just like, well, one, they're already not communicating, because some of the problems that Kian has with Harper are things that Harper would never know. How do you expect him not to do that if you don't tell him not to do that? You know what I mean? It's just like, okay. And anyway, I'm sitting on this. And also there is someone who like talks to Harper, who's like part of like the crew. Like, this is the very start. Like, this is like the briefest of moments, but it kind of took me a little bit out of the story as well, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure crew would not talk to Formula One drivers the way that crew member talked to Harper. You know, like, oh, you need to stop sleeping around and stuff like that. Like, could you imagine if someone said that to like, well, I don't know a Formula One driver who sleeps around, but like, could you imagine if someone did that? Like, I just don't think some of the, I feel like it was like put in there purposefully to make it seem a little bit more quirky and just like, hey, we all have this banter kind of thing. But I'm just like, well, I need this to be a little bit more believable. But I'm still liking it. I'm still enjoying it. And so far, the chemistry between them has been like very hit or miss, because obviously I don't understand a lot of the resentment that leads to the I mean, maybe it gets cleared up later on. Maybe there are like other things that we haven't been privy to yet that will explain a lot of Kian's kind of stuck-upness with Harper coming into it. And like, I get it on a level where Kian is, you know, a champion and he's a lot more experienced, and Harper is a rookie, so you know, you have like fresh new blood come into it and all of that. So like, I get that kind of aspect of it, but yeah, it just like feels like on a personal level, there's just like no reason to be the way that they are. I mean, maybe I'm just that nice a person. Maybe I'm just too nice. There was something that Kian just had to do for Harper because Harper was sick, and Kian kind of like looks after him a little bit. Like, that was really sweet. And there was maybe the potential blossomings of a romance there. So I'm just getting into it. It's still early days, so anything can happen really in the next however many pages I have left. But I do have reading sprints in 15 minutes with my patrons and now my new YouTube channel members. So if you'd like to join my membership, link down below. I imagine I will get these finished during the sprints. It's not even 4 p.m. here. And yeah, I think I'll be able to just like blast through the rest of this during sprints today. I'm willing to overlook some of my issues with like believability and compatibility between these characters if there's good enough steam coming up later on. I'm telling you, I'm a little bit easy to please sometimes. Sometimes I'm not though, but sometimes I am. And if the steam is steamy, like the flight attendant told me it would be, then it could end up getting a good rating, you know? Very interested as well to find out more about Kian's backstory. You know, his father was also a champion, and there was like a little bit of disgrace there. There's a little bit of stuff there. There's also stuff to do with Kian's mum as well, which is kind of heartbreaking to see unfold. So this isn't just all lovey-dovey. There are actual, you know, serious things to talk about. So definitely look up some trigger warnings if you are going to read this one, especially when it comes to his mum and her illnesses. Also, is this supposed to be fan fiction? Are Kian and Harper supposed to represent someone? And I am also, like, final note, I am also liking the competitive nature between Kian and Harper. I do like that, especially when it comes to the track and their like track positions when they're racing. So I like that competitive edge. Very good in that regard. Not much more else to say. It's good. Blah, blah, blah. So I finished. I say this book as a book of many missed opportunities. And I'll talk about like the things that we could have done with this, okay? If I was the editor of this book, I'd be like, look, delete 60% of it and let's start focusing on other things. Because what you're doing with these characters is so boring. Like, how do you get the Formula One like vibe and just totally throw it out the bloody window? You have two teammates and they are doing a Formula One championship together, right? And they're flying all over the world. Like, they go to so many different amazing countries. They're in Italy, they're in France, they're in Monaco, they're all over the world. Do we ever really say that? Other than like very, very brief mentions of where they are, we don't say anything. And it's just like, oh, we have like this idea of, if you can hear the cats upstairs, they're fighting. And we have this idea of, you know, like traveling the world. And like, can you imagine like the kind of romance that could blossom from that? You know, like two teammates in a Formula One championship. It feels almost a little bit of a forbidden romance in all this and the other. Oh my God, all they do is spend time together in a fucking hotel room. Most of the time is in the hotel room. And I'm just like, seriously? Seriously, two teammates? And like, you barely get to see them do like the media stuff. The media stuff, very, very briefly at the start when they like get off on the wrong foot, right? But after that, like when you see, like I've watched so many, right, since becoming an F1 fan, I've watched so many Formula One memes because the teammates are sometimes like so hilarious together in like interviews, in doing like little games and stuff together. Like so much chemistry is seen through these teammates, and they're not sleeping with one another, at least not that I know of. But they look so fun together, you know what I mean? Like there's so many opportunities that we get to see them have fun. We get to see like behind the scenes of two teammates in this, and it's worse than what you would get publicly from teammates in real life who aren't in a relationship. I'm like, how does that happen? So yeah, I just wasn't taken by the fact that this was predominantly set in hotel rooms. And I get it. Part of me gets it. Like, they don't really want people to know anything, but at the same time, they don't really get to that place where they're told about that. But also at the same time, they're teammates. And like, yeah, they're Formula One drivers. They're very famous. However, like, I doubt Charles Leclerc stays in a fucking hotel room the entire time he is in Monaco, in Abu Dhabi, in Las Vegas. No. They obviously go out and about. I follow so many drivers on social media. And so like they obviously like update when they're in like Las Vegas. They show that they're going to these events and it's so glamorous and it looks so amazing. Oh my God, you get none of that in pole position. None of that. They were so boring. You saw nothing. Nothing. Oh my gosh. So like, could you imagine though if this had been a sweeping romance set across the entire world, and you got to see them gradually like, well, hate each other to begin with, which to be fair, I feel like they just got off on the wrong foot. They were just like rude. They were just like rude. Or like, it wasn't even like enemies to lovers. It was just rude. But like, could you imagine they just like really were not getting along at the very start? And then gradually, as like the Grand Prix were happening, the races were happening, and I would have loved as well to have seen like maybe a leaderboard or something, maybe have, you know, kind of put a bit more detail into the other drivers. Like there was one that was called fucking Yoris. Like, is that supposed to be Lando Norris? Like, is this supposed to be like a real thing or like a fake thing? Like, or like Lando Norris and like Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari is mentioned, McLaren is mentioned and stuff like that. So I'm like, what is the message? Like, what is the actual tone of this? Is it real? Is it, you know what I mean? Like, is it supposed to like emulate the real championship or what? Because it just feels a little bit all over the place. So yeah, Yoris, really. And yeah, a lot of the times with the racing and stuff, we again like don't get enough detail in my opinion when they are going and doing these races. And I feel like it would have been, oh my God, like a missed opportunity again. Like, could you imagine if like there was like actual tension like between them on the track? You know what I mean? Like if they had tension on the track and one of them was like maybe trying to get past the other and the other one's like absolutely fucking not. And like maybe like crash or something. You know what? Well, obviously that sounds like really fucking dramatic. There was so many chances of like fighting one another in that like almost tense-filled way. Oh my gosh, like this could have been so good. This could have been so good if they had done that. And then like as the season goes on, how many races is there in a Formula One championship? 24. 24. And like we barely get to see them. We don't get any description or anything of like how it feels to be out on the track. Like could you imagine these two like walking out in Las Vegas and like seeing the crowds and like how dark it is and all the lights and how that feels? Oh, this was so void of that. This was so... Oh, this was like a carcass. Singapore. Oh, could you imagine them exploring Singapore? Because Singapore was number 18. At least of the 2025 World Championship. Could you imagine, like, so they start in Australia. they hate each other in Australia. And then they go to China, Japan, and like Miami, Monaco, Spain, kind of, you know what I mean? Like by this point, they're just like gradually like thawing out. Like they have to like force to like do all these media events together and go to these public events together. And like all of that could have been so fantastic because then they could have like described Canada, could have described Japan. I just didn't feel it. I really didn't feel it. It honestly felt like the Formula One stuff was just a major afterthought. And yeah, I underwhelming to say the least. Steam, underwhelming to say the least. I was gutted that I didn't give my number to that flight attendant. After recommending this, I'm glad I didn't give my number to that flight attendant. I'm sorry. That's probably like really bad of me to say it. Look, if you're the flight attendant and you're watching this, I mean, still hit me up. But you're recommending this to me as a way of flirting. Oh, you've got a big storm coming. Sometimes those like steamy scenes were like a little bit hot, but there wasn't really a focus on them. So I don't like to hold it against books that, you know, it's up to the author, like how much steam they put in. And this maybe wasn't the kind of book where it's supposed to have a lot of steam. But I'm telling you, that flight attendant was like, oh, there's so much steamy gay sex. I was like, I don't know what kind of gay sex you're having. Is it with a doll? Now, I mean, maybe my creative juices are just like running right now, but I'm feeling I might have to write my own fucking Formula One romance at this point. I mean, I've only read one. I'm going to do me a sweeping gay Formula One romance that goes to every single place in the Formula One Championship. All of these amazing places. I'm actually going to tell you and describe the places they're going to go to and have it show on the racetrack the development, the chemistry, the sexual tension. And it's going to be me and Charlotte Leclerc as your main characters. You're welcome. I feel like 1 star is like so like dramatic. I don't think it's 1 star is really bad. I mean, it's readable. Definitely readable. 2 star? 2 star. I feel like 1 would be a little bit too low. I don't think it's that offensive. And again, this is what it feels like to be a Ferrari fan. Disappointment. Pure depression. Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, I'm gonna open some pink Moscato so he can sleep. Baby, I know it's that pink Moscato. Move it up, down, left, right, oh. Switch it up, 'cause I'm a hoe. Yeah, I am about to read the straight F1 romance. So obviously I'm going to need a drink for that. There is no way I'm reading a heterosexual propaganda book without some pink Moscato. Oh, that was so loud. Whew. Accurate depiction of me when I meet Charlotte Leclerc. Right, guys, this is actually like really tasty. My friend Steph from Steph Loves, also a big F1 fan. She introduced me to the pink Moscato barefoot bubbly. Really good. I mean, there's the still one, which is still pretty nice, but the bubbly one is where it's at. So hey, cheers to us. We are about to head into scary territory. I'm kidding. I'm sure this is going to be like amazing. I'm sure it'll be great. This one, I believe, follows Blake. And I mentioned this one in my TBR video. And I was like, I don't know if there have been any women in the F1 teams like over the years. But apparently there have been. Just like no one recent. But I'm pretty sure that this is Blake. And Blake, she has been a Formula One fan for a while. And she ends up, you know, becoming a Formula One driver. And her teammate is Ryder. Obviously, typical romance hero name. And Ryder, she has always like looked up to, and he was someone who made her want to be a Formula One driver. So now they're teammates. Sexy times ensue. Yeah, the same driver who ignited my love for racing, who I idolized through my youth, and whose posters currently line my bedroom walls, is my new teammate. So it sounds a little bit similar to Pole Position in a way, because I've already forgot the names. Harper and Keane. Can you hear that? That sounded like a motorcycle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Harper might have had posters of Kian's dad on his wall, potentially. Or maybe he did have some posters of Kian. Either way, it's like you're kind of meeting an idol in a way. Oh, and also Ryder, his father once dominated the grid. So exactly like Kian in pole position, Ryder is now back with a fresh team under new ownership, more determined than ever to take back what's mine. Wants to keep his father's legacy alive and reclaim my title until Shay came in and everything I thought was important to me was changed. The thing is, do you want to know what my issue is with romance books? Not all romance books. Like, this is just a lot of the romance books that I've read, and something I just don't like is when the characters change completely and they lose all individuality and it seems like they can't function without that other person. I understand like falling in love and things, but it comes to a point when a character is written a certain way where all they do is talk about the other person, and then I'm finding out nothing new about that character. All they're doing is talking about someone else, and it's like their thoughts have been consumed, which again, I do get, but I just hate it when personalities are dropped as soon as they become a thing, a couple, and they have like nothing else going for them. That's the one thing. So with Ryder saying everything I thought was important to me was changed, I'm just worried there's going to be non-stop all over Blake and she is all he's going to be talking about and he's just going to become a cardboard cutout essentially. That is not what I want. But I'm still going to go into this with an open mind. I am hoping there is a bit more of a Formula One aspect to this. Pole position let me down with how much it lacked like good Formula One representation. So let's just have fun. Let's just have fun today.
I remember the sickness was forever. I remember snuff videos, cold Septembers, the distances we covered, the fist fights on the beach, the busies round us up. Do it all again next week. An embryonic love, the first time that it's scarred. Embarrass yourself for someone, crying like a child. And the boy you kicked Tom's head in still bugs me now. That's the thing, it lingers and claws you when you're down. I was far too scared to hit him, but I would hit him in a heartbeat now.
I am just cutting in quickly to say, I mean, I'm only a few pages into Lights Out, but I've noticed a pattern as well with, again, like a lot of the romances I seem to be reading, and especially in this vlog, there's a lot of tragedy. There's a lot of sadness, especially when it comes to parents. I'm not 100% sure why this seems to be something that is recurring in, I guess, these Formula One romances. I mean, if it happens again in Crash Test, I will seriously have to have a re-examination of the kind of romances I'm picking up. But it would also be nice, I don't know if I talked about this when I was talking about pole position, but it would be nice to just like not have sad things happen to the characters in order to have drama or in order to elicit sympathy from the reader. I would love to just read about characters who are happy. Like, I feel like that would be really nice. Just a nice change. Characters who aren't dealing with, you know, health problems from their parents or anything like that. You know, I just wanted to quickly say that. I just want to jump in and say that. Enjoy the rest of the B-roll music. No idea what I'm picking right now, but hopefully it's a banger. I fear I am not drunk enough for this. There might not be enough wine to make me drunk enough for this, unfortunately. I am very tempted to DNF. I am 103 pages into this, and I do want to give it until the first sex scene before I officially DNF. But just so you know, this is painful. This is really, really painful. I don't want to be a bitch, though. I really don't want to be a bitch. But someone's got to be. Right. I think it would be incredible to see a woman Formula One driver. Honestly, if that happened in my lifetime as a Formula One fan, I would be their number one fan on day one. Literally on day one. And so to have Blake be like a female Formula One driver, where obviously it is like, and it's mentioned in this once, about how Formula One is a male dominated sport. And like that is true. Like that is so true. So I think what I would love to see, and maybe it does come more into fruition in the rest of this book, but so far this has been incredibly underwhelming. Oh my god, I hate the characters. I'm sorry, I hate them. Oh my god, they're so cringe. They are so cringe. Everyone is a child. Everyone is a child. Cassie, Blake's best friend. Oh my god. I can't stand her. I'm sorry, I can't stand it. I really do not like that friendship. I mean, if someone had a friend like that, great friends, great friends. To see it depicted in this book, their dialogue, oh my god, it makes my butt clench. You know when you get like so much secondhand embarrassment, your anus just totally it does that. That's what I'm feeling. Oh my god, listen to this. I take photos of all the pages because I don't want to annotate this. So Cassie says, I'm a good noodle. And Blake says, one might say you're goodles. What? What? What page was that? 26? 36? Oh, I don't know if you can really see this. I don't know if you can really see this, but oh my god, what is that? What is that? That was just one of the many things. The way that Cassie goes on as well. And like, again, I don't understand how Blake has become a Formula One driver. Like, if we had seen how incredible her like determination and her drive to become a Formula One driver was, and to see all the training and the preparation for it, I don't think she's done any of that, because the part I just read was her sharing to Ryder, who, by the way, she meets for the first time, and he's invited her to his home to stay with him pre-season, and they don't really know each other, and he's done that, and now she's cooked for him, and this is what Formula One teammates do? I don't know, I don't know. I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, but that would require a lot of brain power. Yeah, she was saying she hasn't been through any formal training. I didn't attend the academy or start with karting when I was 5. I have no experience outside of my small little circuits back home. So that got me, I was like, wait, hang on. So like she is approached by, you know, there's like a new team called Nightingale Racing. And so yeah, like this team manager person approaches her and is like, I think you are incredible. I want you to be my driver. And I'm just like, how did we get here? How is that believable? It's not. It's not believable. Because what was she driving? Where was she driving? None of that is explained. Like, why is she caught the eye of someone? And if she was that good, if she was that amazing, that she would skip all of the F2, F3, F4, I have no idea anything about that myself. So, you know, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I'm not the one writing this. I'm just saying. But yeah, she's not done any of that. And she's suddenly a Formula One driver. I'm just like, and no one knows about her. Like, if she's that good, she is a female driver, and she is that good, how does no one know her? I'm so confused. Like, again, I'm trying to, like, go into this. Like, I'm not saying I'm an F1 snob. I might be an F1 snob. Already, I can't believe what's going on. I don't believe, I can't just fall into it. I just don't believe it. So yeah, we kind of got off on the wrong foot because I, again, was just like finding it so cringe, the dialogue between the best friend and her, and how like Blake's mum is like cooking food and Cassie's like, last one to dinner has to do with dare. And I was just like, oh my god, they're children. Why is it they're acting like children? She's supposed to be 20 years old. And there was a moment when Blake is telling them what she can improve on, because I was like, okay, we're starting to get like a little bit of a taste of the F1, and her looking at herself, like her inner reflection on what she can do to improve her driving was so good. I was like, okay, like she knows what she needs to do, and like she feels like she obviously deserves to have a place there. And you know, Maybe she does. Maybe she does. And I can't wait to see her grow and develop, improve that to the reader, especially since she's literally come out of nowhere. But then the amount of times she's like fallen over and Ryder has had to pick her up. Like, he's had to pick her up twice now. Twice. So, like, why are we giving her the characteristics of Bella Swan from fucking Twilight? A seriously competitive, incredibly talented Formula One driver who has to have all the training for like all of the G-force and, you know, driving those really super fast Formula One cars. She falls over twice in 100 pages. I mean, hey, I'm sure Charlotte Leclerc falls over every now and then, but like, come on. Like, you're presenting us this, the heroine of this story, this female Formula One driver who I really, really, really want to root for because I want more women in sport. That to me is power. That to me is strength. Blake requiring to be picked up twice by the male love interest who has these incredible abs that you can see through his shirt does not scream power to me. It doesn't scream strength. It screams, this is fan fiction. It screams, I don't want to be too... I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be mean. And I think I did read that this was supposed to be Charlotte Leclerc fan fiction. Not my Charlotte Leclerc. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryder so far has been like a tragic person, which is why I said before about like, oh, like it would be lovely to have like, I don't know, a story where we're not being forced to sympathize with the characters and we're not like trying to force emotion from us to feel sorry for the characters. I just want to like the characters. I just want to root for them. But like to just throw us in the deep end at the very start with this like tragic backstory, I'm just like, whoa, give me a minute. And yeah, we really haven't really seen much except like in his like first or second chapter, right after meeting Blake for the first time, he's obsessed. He's literally obsessed with her already. And again, the fact that he invites her to his home. Oh my god. Yeah, chapter 9. First 80 pages. They've met for the first time. She's become a Formula One driver. And she's in his home. He has invited her to his home. Anyway, she's been here for less than 24 hours. And instead of boiling over with the need to push her out of my space, I'm searching small ways to draw her farther in. What the hell am I doing? It's unbelievable, staggering, intoxicating, terrifying. This is insta-love. This is insta-love at its finest, and I'm not really the biggest fan of insta-love. Because again, like the way he goes on, and he continues to go on, is just like, you're too much. Dial it down. And if he's already acting this way, then it really doesn't give me a whole lot of incentive to continue reading, because they're just having the same boring standard, oh, let's play a guessing game of all the times that someone's asked you to sign something weird. Let's play a guessing game. Let's do this. I'm just like, I really would love some more ingenuity. Like, I want, like, do I have unrealistic expectations when it comes to Formula One? Do I? I'm seeing Beyonce at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Was it last Saturday? One of the previous races. And where's Beyonce? Where is Beyonce? Even pole position, I was like, there were no celebrities. We're in this like celebrity-infested world of millionaires and billionaires. And we're getting people staying in their hotel rooms in pole position and like nothing so far. Except somebody who has never actually like raced professionally become a Formula One driver. Oh my god, like how cringy is this? Like literally, oh my god. So she cooks for him and like he eats it all up and he's like, oh, like this is great. And she's like, really, really? She beams, dancing in her seat. Score. She's literally dancing in her seat. Imagine you've just made someone a meal and they're a Formula One driver, the Formula One driver who you've had a crush on for years. Imagine it's Charlotte Leclerc. You've just bloody made Charlotte Leclerc some food and you say, oh, that was great. And you're dancing in your chair going, score, score. How old are you? But that's not the worst thing. 10 minutes later, Blake slides her empty plate onto the coffee table with a sigh. Clean plate club. Oh, God. I don't think I've cringed as hard as I'm a cringy person. I am the absolute king of cringe. Let's be honest. I danced in an abandoned, haunted nunnery as a nun, singing I Will Follow Him from Sister Act. I am the king of cringe. I get it. This is cringe on a whole other level. I'm sorry. And then he's like, thank you for dinner. And she's like, I'm glad you liked it. And he says, I haven't had a home-cooked meal in what feels like forever. Hell, I don't think I've eaten with a friend in longer than that. Did I just call her my friend? She stops abruptly on the way up the stairs and turns back to me. Did you just call me your friend? Can she read minds, he says. Well, no. No. Hurt flashes in her eyes and I scramble to wipe that look from existence. I mean, unless you want to be. Really? I nod and her smile grows. Okay, I'll be your friend. I'll be the best friend / teammate you've ever had. Oh my God. I said it before and I'll say it again, they're children. They're children. Blake Stone, you're really something, you know that? So are you, Ryder King? Oh, there's been nothing. There's a part of me that's like, I'm just going to DNF now. I'm not going to wait until a sex scene. I'm not going to do it to myself. It would feel like watching something that I should not be watching. And like if this is the way that they go on, it's a little bit too immature for my liking. And I do not want to see that. I don't want to say that. There was a little bit of a wet dream earlier on. And I was like, okay, like, we're getting somewhere. But I think I'm just going to DNF it. I've talked myself out of it. I've talked myself out of continuing. Is there a way of just reading a sex scene? Is there? No, I can't see any cocks or clits. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to DNF at page 103. Do let me know down below if this does have more Formula 1 in it, and if it's like embellished a little bit more. I was chatting about it on Jade Sprints because I'm watching Jade Sprint on her Patreon right now, and there have been some people in the live chat comment about their own problems with this book, and I totally get it. I totally get it. Glad I'm not the only one, to be honest, because I genuinely thought I was on an island on my own. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm genuinely so sorry. I did not want to DNF. You had me hook, line and sinker with Charles Leclerc, but this is Charles no. See, that was cringy. That was the kind of joke that they would say. I would not say that on my own accord, okay? I'm just channeling these characters. And if anyone knows any good straight romance where there is a female main character who joins the Formula 1 and it's a good story, let me know. Because I would honestly, I'm telling you, I would love to see women in sport dominate, and especially in the F1. But unfortunately, this just like completely missed the mark. And I'm not going to do it to myself. You know what? Let's take this out. Taking the bookmark out. It's gone. It's DNF'd.
How many kettlebells do you need?
Barely moving.
Absolute pro. Oh, go on. See if you can get 12.
I think so. 6, 7. We'll probably do a pull-up as well.
Go on then.
11, 12. I literally just had a run so I could make it through that. He's bloody put it down on me again. Fucking Alan. I'm telling you, he saw me coming. He started putting it down so I had to run through it. God damn it, Alan. He knows what he's doing. I don't know how I keep doing this, but the bin men have come to get my bin. Last Thursday I was filming, was it in Boss or Toss? And I have an update in that video where I'm like, the bin men have come while I'm updating. So I'm sorry if you can hear in the background. Same thing has happened again today. I should just like not film on a Thursday. Anyway, I am going to try and start Crash Test after I go in the shower. So I've just come back from the gym. I did go in my blue Monza Ferrari shirt, of course. And this is the first time I've actually worn a Ferrari shirt to the gym. So I might have to do it more often. And yeah, I've done my session. It went really well. My poor trainer is sick. as well. Like, he was sick yesterday, so I didn't go in yesterday, and he came back in today. He was still feeling a little bit under the weather, but he still, you know, absolutely smashed it. And yeah, I thought I would rep Ferrari as I was doing my session. Went to the library before that as well to pick up a book, and yeah, now I'm home ready to like have a bit of a shave, go in the shower, and then I'll start Crash Test, the last book for this vlog. And there's a lot riding on this. We absolutely cannot have an unsuccessful reading vlog why I haven't liked any of the books that I've read in it. This one has to be at least a 3-star. Like, please, I'm just begging. 3-star minimum. We are going back to the homos, so that in itself is already a win in my eyes. And I don't know why, but I get Lando Norris vibes looking at this. I don't know why. Like, is this supposed to be maybe like a Lando Norris type book? So it's Formula One meets Red, White and Royal Blue. And I have read Red, White and Royal Blue. Oh my god, it's so hot. That's a tongue twister. I read that one back in like 2019 or something, or 2020. I can't remember. No, 2019. And I can't really remember too much about it. I remember liking it. Still haven't seen the adaptation as well, by the way. I should probably get on that. But we do have a 24-year-old Formula One driver, Travis, and there is a massive crash in Formula 2 that leaves driver Jacob in critical condition. So again, like, we have another crash. Like, actually, I feel like in every book I've read so far today, well, not today, in this vlog, there's been a crash. I know, like, Formula One actually does have a lot of crashes in it, so that does make sense. So yeah, Jacob does have a crash. He's a Formula 2 driver in a certain critical condition. However, no one knows that Travis and Jacob are in a relationship, and they've been dating for almost a year. So they're already lovers. They're already in a relationship. So it'll be interesting because that is totally different to the first 2 books I've read in this vlog, where they've kind of slowly fallen for each other, or in the case of Lights Out, fall for them straight away. So Amy, please, save the day. Save the day. I am 127 pages into Crash Test, and I'm going to have to do it. I'm kidding. Oh my god, I am kidding. I am loving this. I really, really am. It is so, like, romantic. It's so romantic. So this story is being told to us from Travis, okay? So at the very start of this book, Jacob, who is the F2 driver, has been in this, like, really awful accident. And it's an accident that happened on the racetrack during an F2 race. And so there were multiple F2 drivers involved, and Jacob is one of them. And Travis is like, oh my god, because they have been dating for a year and nobody knows that they are dating. And so we have Travis like going to the hospital, trying to see him, and you know, we feel all of his emotions, and then we're being told the story of how they met and like their first interactions, like what they said to one another, how they kind of initially flirted. And it's so cute. Like, I'm loving it. Like, Travis is such an amateur. Like, he doesn't know how to be gay, essentially. He doesn't know how to be in a relationship with a man. And it's just so cute to see him experience that for the first time, and how, like, Jacob is, like, helping him navigate. And Jacob is bisexual, but I do love the fact that we already know that they're in love, and we're going back to see, like, how it kind of happened. Because I feel like this isn't the author trying to convince me they're in love. I believe it. And what happens is sometimes it makes or breaks a romance when I'm seeing these people meet for the first time, and we are seeing them get to know one another, go on dates, and then like fall in love and stuff like that. Sometimes that isn't like the most interesting thing for me to follow, and especially with like the previous 2 books in this vlog, I didn't fall in love with them falling in love, you know. And I really do feel like it helps to enhance the story by having that already kind of happen. We're feeling the stakes of what's happening right now, and I really feel it. Like, I was getting emotional. I actually had a bit of a lump in my throat by the end of like chapter 3. Like, seriously, I was getting so caught up in this. I love seeing how different Travis and Jacob are, and also like how they initially meet too. So I mean, I do have, you know, the criticisms of there isn't really that much F1, and like it could have been easily like a hockey romance or a basketball romance or a football romance. It could have been anything. So like, I'm not really getting the massive F1 feeling. However, I am still liking the minimal parts of it that we are getting. I am really enjoying that. So like, say for instance, when Travis and Jacob are first like interacting, it is because, you know, an interviewer has come up to them and is asking them questions. So we kind of get to see that unfold, and then we slowly start to see them, you know, like, you know, it's so cute. It is so cute. And I love that we're getting told the story from one side, and that's Travis's side, as he's like explaining like his feelings and like how they came about. Like, I love that, because sometimes I think when it's a multiple POV, when it's like dual POV, when it's the 2 characters, it feels like a whole lot of repetition sometimes. And, you know, it's just them saying, oh, he's so hot, 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 back and forth. Back and forth, I don't give a shit. But to find it in this, it actually feels like very romantic. It feels romantic the way that Travis talks about Jacob when he tries to tell him, I love you for the first time and things like that. It's just, oh my God, it's so sweet. And then also very hot too. I mean, the spice hasn't been intense or anything. It's felt very, again, like minimal, but in a very purposeful way. You know, it's like, again, like we have someone who is like so fresh and new to the idea of, you know, doing something gay with a man. And it's just, oh my God, like some of it was just like so raw and hot, and like just like the sexual tension of it. And when Jacob is kissing him and he's like, has a man ever done this? And he's, oh my God, it was so hot. It was so hot. Box. But to have the raw sexual magnetism that these two characters have, you know, and that is something that I really do believe that the previous two books lacked. They lacked that sexual magnetism. I feel like Travis and Jacob, they're like, they are two, you know, they can be very opposite, but there's a lot of similarities and they just work so well together. And again, like, we are just getting this from Travis's point of view. And I love that. I love that. And we are slowly getting the hospital and the crash storyline unfolding as we are getting told this story. I love that. I love that. I love the way that that is being told to me. Some parts where I just giggled. I mean, it's not like a funny book, but like the way that Jacob and Travis talk to one another and the way that they are just like, again, it's okay. I'm giggling. I am giggling when like they are, you know, exchanging numbers, or, you know, like Jacob's just showing him something. He's like, no, I can't say too much. I don't want to spoil everything. I just love that we are finding out exactly how Jacob makes Travis feel. It feels so romantic. I am all in. And with the F1 stuff as well, because, and I do believe a good few years ago, was it like 2018, 2019, there was an F2 crash and somebody did die during that. And the F1 race still had to go on the next day. Like, it wasn't cancelled because someone died. It still went forward. And I believe they were Charles Leclerc's friend, like, or childhood friend. And Charles Leclerc ended up winning the race right after that happened. And I seem to remember that was an actual thing. You know, I have been watching like Drive to Survive and all of that. So that kind of thing is something that actually has happened in F1 before. And it's just genuinely scary to think of them putting their lives in danger for this sport, and they're still doing it because they have such a passion and love for it. But at the same time, the show must go on. And even Travis, who was just absolutely devastated by it, still has to like move forward and still has to, you know, make an appearance and race. So that kind of F1 aspect to it is definitely, at this moment in time, still better than the previous two, unless something happens to derail my enjoyment of this story. I feel like I've just ended DRS and I'm about to be overtaken by emotion by the next lap. It is 8:30 p.m. Made myself my lovely solid caramel decaf cappuccino, and I have finished Crash Test. Now, it definitely fell on the wayside when it comes to the romance, and it also fell on the wayside in terms of Formula One as well. And I'm trying to be an impartial judge. Okay, but like when I hear Formula One romance, that's what I expect. So let me just take a little slurp before we chat about the end. I will put you out of your misery as well and say that I did give this book 3.5 stars. It is not bad. I don't think it's bad. It just, after the first part, we kind of pivot and we do get Jacob's point of view, which is great because it does kind of focus a lot more on character and what they have to go through to overcome trauma. And there's a great kind of examination into the things that we do that hold ourselves back. And when it comes to romance, you know, there's just so many things that I can personally relate to. You know, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, am I hearing about myself? And all of that is still absolutely fine and well. I really did like to see from Jacob's point of view. I didn't love him as much as I love Travis. I didn't like him as a person for a lot of the book. And I will say, I don't think things were earned by the end also. There is a little bit of miscommunication beforehand, and it leads to some like unnecessary things in my opinion. And that does dampen my enjoyment. And I just, yeah, like by the end of it, I'm just like, we kind of blitzed through the end. And I was like, okay, but it also felt like not a great deal was resolved. I felt like we still had so much more to go with the characters that, yeah, like the ending just didn't really feel as earned as I kind of wanted it to. It felt like a lot of the romance happened in the earlier part of this book because it was told to us through like flashbacks, and then the latter half, it just wasn't really there. It does get there by the end, but I'm trying not to say too much so that I don't spoil it for you. But yeah, and also when it does happen at the end, I'm just like, by that point, I'm like, I feel like we should have had a little bit more communication before we just, drop on our knees and go, you know what I mean? I just felt like we need a little bit more. Oh, that's fucking good. There was a lot to do with therapy, which I did appreciate getting a little bit more of a closer look at, and how to overcome quite a lot of roadblocks, especially when those roadblocks come from ourselves. That was pretty cool. But yeah, we were definitely lacking on the Formula One front, unfortunately. Like, really severely lacking. Which is a shame, because I do think all 3 books that I read in this video, when it comes to actually depicting Formula One, all of them have disappointed me in that regard. I will say, though, that this still had the most interesting look at it, whereas the previous 2, I just didn't feel all that much for the Formula One aspects. But this one definitely did. And when it comes to the romances as well, this one definitely felt more real and believable when it comes to the characters and their chemistry and the way that they interacted. That definitely felt a lot more real to me. And I like that. They felt like actual 3-dimensional characters with real problems. And while this was definitely still very sad, there was actually a lot of homophobia to overcome as well, which did kind of kill my vibe a little bit. It's definitely important to examine homophobia, especially when it comes from family and also internally as well. But yeah, by this point, it felt like this was a lot of sadness. Like, this one is like a little bit sadder, and it does kind of bring my mood down. And it's like, okay, like, this wasn't exactly what I was expecting from this. This felt more like a character drama. And then we had Formula One as a backdrop that was not really ever in the forefront, apart from the catalyst of the story, which was that Jacob was in a Formula 2 crash. So other than that, so yeah, 3.5, but it was feeling more like it could have been a 4 or 4.5 in that first part. But then the more I read, the more I was realizing, like, this is different, and that's not a bad different. It's just, I wasn't expecting that different. Yeah, hopefully that made sense. So while I didn't get any winners in this video, I'm still really glad that I did a Formula 1 romance reading vlog. And I would still say that Crash Test was still, like, really good. I still enjoyed it. But yeah, Pole Position by Rebecca J. Caffrey, I gave 2 stars. Lights Out by Kayla James, I DNF'd. Even though I had plenty of time to, like, finish. I just saw the end of a chapter there and I was like, absolutely freaking not. That made me glad to have DNF'd. And then yeah, Crash Test by Amy James, 3.5. If you have any recommendations for good Formula One romances that do actually delve into Formula One, please hit me up. I would love to know if there are any out there. If not, I'm gonna have to write it myself. And I'm not gonna lie, actually, I was thinking about it, but I'm like, no, absolutely not. Do you think I have time? Do you think I have time to write a romance? But it is food for thought. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. And a big thank you to my patrons and my channel members. If you want to join my channel membership, link is down below. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.